Kane!
It's over!
He's done it again! Unbelievable!
Oh, straight into the roof of the net.
Nice one.
Straight down the middle.
Hello, you're watching First Sports. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get the show started. On the show today, India's social strike on Pakistan's cricketers and other athletes has hit them hard. How will this impact their financial stature? And is there more to come as India toughens its stand against the neighbours post the Pahalgam terror attack? Meanwhile, Lucknow's woes in the Indian Premier League continues. Captain Rishabh Pant is under fire after yet another loss, but more importantly, a bizarre dismissal putting a dent to his individual contribution to the season. Who's at fault for what is proving to be yet another sordid year for Lucknow? $1 million mismatch or the work culture that has come under scrutiny in the past too? And the curse of Kane seems to have finally lifted. The English player seems to have redemption at last, with Bayern Munich clinching the Bundesliga title. How was the curse lifted? Stay on to know more. But first, a look at the headlines on Sports 360. We'll start with cricket and the Indian Premier League. Kolkata registered a narrow one-run win over Rajasthan. Batting first, Andre Russell's quick-fire 57 powered the home side to 206. In reply, Rajasthan captain Rian Parag scored 95 to bring the visitors close. Andre Russell was the star of the show as he only gave away 11 runs in the 19th over to close out the victory and keep them alive. In other news from the IPL, Punjab announced injured Glenn Maxwell's replacement for the rest of the tournament. Aussie all-rounder Mitchell Owen was signed up for $355,000. Owen is currently playing in the Pakistan Super League for Peshawar Zalmi and will join the IPL setup after his PSL campaign ends. In his 34-match T20 career, Owen has scored 546 runs and has picked up 10 wickets. Over in Formula One, McLaren's dominant run in the 2025 F1 season continues. Oscar Piastri won the Miami Open and his teammate Lando Norris finished second. George Russell grabbed the final podium position. Red Bull appealed Russell's third-place finish, seeking a 5-second penalty for failing to slow down during a safety car yellow flag. The appeal was rejected and Max Verstappen stayed at fourth. In football, Real Madrid kept the pressure on table toppers Barcelona. The Spanish giants beat Celta Vigo 3-2 in their La Liga fixture. Kylian Mbappe scored a brace to seal the game for Madrid. With the win, the defending champions are 4 points behind Barca with 4 more matches to go. England star Trent Alexander-Arnold will end his 20-year-long partnership with Liverpool this summer. Trent is likely to join Real Madrid on a free transfer. The footballer said he's seeking new challenges after winning 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League, FA Cup, 2 League Cups, Club World Cup and the UEFA Super Cup with the Reds. Trent has been with the club ever since he was 6. And a 26-year-old football fan in Italy died during an ugly scuffle. The Italian Riccardo Claris was an Atlanta supporter and was stabbed to death during a clash that broke out between his club fans and Inter Milan supporters. The two groups clashed in a pub in northern Italy. A male in his late teen has been arrested for the crime. India is taking a firm stand in its crackdown on Pakistan after the gruesome attack in Pahalgam. The retaliation is coming in ways that Pakistan could least imagine. Currently, a social strike is underway and the target is Pakistan's sporting fraternity. After going after the YouTube, India has banned Instagram handles of top Pakistani athletes. It started with Olympic gold medalist javelin thrower Arshad Nadeem and has made its way to top Pakistani cricketers Babar, Azam, Shaheen, Shah, Afridi and Mohammad, Rizwan, to name a few. And while it may look like just a social media ban, the financial implications of it all cannot be ignored. In today's world, a celebrity's social media account isn't just a platform to tell their fans what they're up to, giving them all a sneak peek into what their life outside the sporting arena looks like. It's more importantly a medium that contributes to their financial status through endorsements, adverts and sponsorship deals, things that can keep them afloat much after their retirement. It's essential for any athlete considering their careers have a shelf life. And this market is massive, dominated by football stars Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Ronaldo sits on top here. He earns the most. One single post gets him $3.5 million. Messi comes in second with earnings of $2.8 million a post. India's star cricketer Virat Kohli is third with $1.5 million in earnings from one sponsored post. Neymar fourth with $1.2 million, and NBA legend LeBron James rounds off the top five, $916,000 that he gets. So clearly it is a massive earner for top sports stars across the world. And while yes, it is the global icons who rope in the most, given their star appeal globally, rest of the cricketers aren't too far behind, especially in the subcontinent where cricket is a major money spinner. Babar Azam's monthly income through sponsorships is reportedly anywhere between $32,000 to $45,000. The current ODI captain Mohammad Rizwan earns between $21,000 to $29,000. Former Pakistan captain Shaheen Afridi gets anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000. But will it remain the same after India has suspended their accounts? Not at all. The reason why I say this is because despite geopolitical differences and the strained Indo-Pak relations, Pakistani cricketers have enjoyed a decent fan following in India. And India's dominance in cricket just tells you how big a market share cricket adverts occupy in the country. Sponsors and companies are ready to shell out money to cater to the Indian audience. But with India now imposing this ban, will companies be just as invested? I'm afraid not, because there is also the ethics at stake here of towing the line that the government has etched. And it isn't just cricketers. Paris Olympic gold medalist Arshad Nadeem, along with India's Neeraj Chopra, was hailed as a symbol for cross-border unity. His relations with Neeraj Chopra highlighted that sports can unite two nations in turbulent times too. But not anymore. Pahalgam attack has ensured that. And this time, India's talking tough. Imposing a social strike is India's subtle way of letting Pakistan know that the country won't back down. What this also means is if the athletes' earnings takes a hit, their contribution to Pakistan's economy will take a hit too. The social media curb is striking Pakistan where it hurts them the most: cricket and their crumbling economy. What is worse than a horrid season with nothing going your way, like what a franchise like Chennai is experiencing currently in the Indian Premier League? Well, it's being the highest paid cricketer in the league this year and with just 150 to your name. And more ducks than that. With Chennai, though it is just as painful, they can put it down to a collective failure. Too many things not going their way in a season that has been more unpredictable from the start itself. But what can you say about what Rishabh Pant and the Lucknow franchise are experiencing this season? Lucknow, as a franchise, has had a very tumultuous few seasons. Look, it's not about the actual performance alone. Losses and defeats are part of sport. So it's not about that as much as it is about the general vibe around the franchise itself and whether that has percolated through to every aspect. This was the Lucknow franchise when Rishabh Pant was auctioned and bought at the table last year. Fist bumps, high fives and handshakes all around. The Lucknow table was ecstatic, and watching them, you'd think they'd hit the jackpot. That this is what they wanted all along. But cut to last night, and you could sense that the ownership is doing their best not to have a repeat of last year on their hands. The look of dejection and resignation was there for all to see. That, of course, was part of the owner Sanjiv Goenka's reactions to his captain getting out, because it was a rather bizarre dismissal to add to what has been yet another mixed bag of a year for Lucknow. The bat flying off his grip, almost symbolic to his hold on his team's performance. And yes, a reflection of how this year has gone for Pant personally with the bat, and for Lucknow too, with the results column. Out of control and highly unpredictable. So is this an overestimation? Because many other franchises that have had a super season in 2024 have disappointed this year, like Hyderabad. Probably not, because of various reasons. One, what Lucknow has portrayed over the years: an overbearing boss, demanding results, a clamour for wins constantly, and a culture that seems more result-oriented than believing in the process itself and letting the cricketers do what they know best. And two, of course, the curse of being the highest paid in the IPL. Many have faltered under the weight of being the most expensive buys. We've seen that all over the years. Andrew Flintoff got injured after being bought for that moment, huge back then. He was picked up by CSK, Chennai. Yuvraj Singh had an average outing despite being highest paid in 2015 when he was picked up by Delhi. Timol Mills came with massive expectations, but the pacer flattered to deceive. Rishabh Pant this year has had a very average season, going by the promise that he's always showed in the past. And the pressure is that much more when you happen to be the captain of your squad. Another reason that Pant may be feeling the heat under the collar. It has to be the buzz leading up to the IPL this year. He had a forgettable series under Australia in Tests. He and most of us may have moved on from that comment that Sunil Gavaskar made in that box after he got dismissed playing a Cavalier shot. It has been immortalized into a light-hearted advert featuring both of them. But that can't possibly take away from the fact that it has been a far from decent season. For a cricketer who fought circumstances, a near-death accident, to make a comeback to international sport, that means something. A resolve that has to take every ounce of your being and test your will. So Pant is no stranger to challenging conditions and swimming against the tide. He just needs the right environment, a support system, and more importantly, keep his wits about him at most times. Because captaincy is a different ballgame, more so when you are helming the affairs of a franchise. It isn't just about how he is performing, but how his team is doing under his leadership. Right now, not so well. And maybe there's more than just the ineptness at fault here. For English footballer Harry Kane, life seems to have come a full circle. Not just because his side Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga, but also because the title means the Harry Kane curse got lifted after many years. A first major trophy for the English captain, but if you think it was easy coming after Kane joined the German Giants, you'd be mistaken. For years now, the 31-year-old has been mocked, the word curse becoming a synonym to his time spent in club football because of his failure to win a major title despite being one of the best goal scorers today. Kane played in teams that just failed to go over the line. He spent 13 years of his senior career at Tottenham Hotspur, a club that never won a major silverware, a team that is taunted for bottling any cup final. Over at the international stage too, he was captaining England. Another unit dripped in legacy, not the legacy that comes with titles though, but marquee names and the burden of expectations and not living up to it, mixed with the hype of it's coming home that rings out unfailingly ahead of every tournament. And it was Kane's presence year after year across these sides that never crossed the line that made the tagline of the curse only get louder. In addition to his failures to win league titles or international trophies, it was the case of so near yet so far for the England captain. He lost the famous Champions League final in 2019 against Liverpool, lost 2 Carabao Cup finals with Tottenham, 2 Euros Championship final losses, and the last came in 2024 against Spain at Euros. And the same curse continued when he joined the German Giants too, losing the German Super Cup final last year. Kane then made a move to Germany, presumably in search of silverwares, and in the footballing world, that means Bayern Munich, default German champions, a club steeped in glory, one that has won the league title 33 times. But trust Bayern to lose the title to Bayer Leverkusen in Kane's debut season, and Germany got a new champion in 11 years. With the din of the curse only intensifying with this. But it seems like Kane has now given the fans the most dramatic U-turn of the decade. Because what Kane did when Bayern drew their fixture against RB Leipzig to win the title yesterday is a sight not many thought the football world would get to witness. Harry Kane singing "We Are Champions."
We are the champions. We are the champions.
The Bundesliga triumph will forever be Harry Kane's biggest moment. Nothing can dare to come close to this one, because when he joined the club, even the German Giants were struggling. Kane still gave his best. He's been the highest goal scorer in both the seasons. In the first year, he scored 36 goals and assisted 8 times. In his second, he scored 24 times and assisted on 9 occasions. So clearly, it wasn't that Kane wasn't performing, just like his Tottenham days. Here too, he was scoring goals, leading Bayern's front line. Or like his situation with England, he keeps scoring goals. But what worked in Kane's favour here at Bayern was that he was part of a setup that was equally hungry for the title, that was in sync. He had a team who lost the title to Leverkusen last year. They wanted their throne back. It was led by a coach who was scrutinised ever since he took over the job last year, Vincent Kompany. There were doubts over whether Bayern could regain their German championship status from Leverkusen. So the combined hurt and passion of the club, from its players to the support staff, everyone worked in one unified direction. The only sad part is Kane wasn't present in the match that took Bayern to the title. Kane was suspended after he picked up his 5th yellow card, so he had to watch the moment from the stands. And while the yellow card did take away that one glorious moment from Kane, the football world surely waits for when he lifts the Bundesliga title in front of a packed 75,000 Lions Arena. A fitting tribute to Kane's years of fighting a label he never wanted. Time for last serve before the mega Formula One race at the Miami Grand Prix. Fans had an unusual experience. Life-sized replica cars made of Lego took to circuits before the real action. To think, it took over 22,000 hours to build 10 cars. Take a look. Close to the real deal there. But that wraps it up here on First Sports. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, do take care and bye-bye.